Hello. Oh, the button didn't go. Hello, hello. Now it's me. Now I'm here. I'm back. Continuing the Homestuck journey. Hello, hello. You may have missed a 3-hour stream. You're not on the damn screen. Oh, I'm not moving now. Ah. Um, there we go. I'll put you on the screen right now. Bop. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. You're on the screen now. You're alive. Your functioning existence has been reinstated. Okay. Oh. So, continuing on with epilogue 5. In the last one, what was going on again? I'm gonna cheat and look back. We had Dave going on and on. I'm not Dave. Dirk going on and on. On and on, being really like mixed feelings kind of esque, like in like backhanded ways to himself almost. Or maybe not. Talked about yada yada. Calliope took over. Okay. Looks like no voice actors today. Or are there? Yeah. Whoa. There we go. I think I did that right. There might not be actually. I gotta double check actually. Let me hit this button, see what happens. Oh my god. Okay, one of them's here. They're muted though. So they whatever they say will not be heard on stream at this moment in time. Okay. There. Okay, you got one here. The other one said they probably are gonna be gone or something for a bit. Huh. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome in. It is evening in the correct people time. I'm kind of tired. There we go. Now the Mr. Gallivanter's Ascent is able to commune with their voice. There we go.
Scary.
Oh, actually, I want to move him a little bit. I don't like that position. Let's put him like it's like a good spot. No, we can't hide it. Maybe just over the cup instead. Maybe that's the play. Maybe that is the play. Okay. Bop. Yeah, that was the play. Okay. We shall just get started in on it. Yes, it is. It is warming up in my region, and I really do need to install my window air conditioner or buy a new, or buy a multi-split. I think it's called a multi-split, but that costs a lot of money. And my window air conditioner is good enough. It's good enough. I got that during a pretty solid time. Okay. John, Epilogue 5 meets Chapter 28.
How long have you been watching?
Hmm. Long enough. Hmm. Long enough to smell you flailing about like a wiggler while talking to Jade shoes. Uh, let's do. Huh. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Oh, heh, awkward.
Cough, cough. Oh, whoa. It's kind of broken.
She stares at John for a long time, or for some time, a curious expression on her face. She says nothing for long enough that John begins to wonder if she has any use for him at all. Will she offer one last barbed jest before vanishing from his life again? For good this time? He hopes he means more to her than that, especially after all the trying experiences they shared. And he does mean more to her than that. Her hesitation isn't meant to make him feel unwelcome. She's simply processing what she is seeing. Something is off about him.
Hmm. 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 John. John. Do not take this personally. Personally. Although I do absolutely mean it personally, but you smell like shit. Oh my god. The tables have turned. Holy shit. Oh my god.
It isn't his unseemly appearance she finds surprising. He is gravely wounded, but it's not that either. Something else is different about him. Different, somehow, from how she thought he'd be when she'd imagined they'd meet next. Under all the gore, he smells too fresh. She decides to keep her observations to herself, lest she cause this ailing version of John more confusion.
Yeah, well, you smell like shit too.
I assume that you are correct, being that I've been out here for a certain amount of time with limited access to food and water. But I think that your situation is a bit more serious than mine, as you seem to be bleeding to death from a tooth in your chest.
John laughs, exposing his two rows of disarmingly dull human teeth, signature characteristics of his smile.
Oh, this? It's only a flesh wound. Haha.
Yes, John. Generally, wounds tend to happen to the flesh.
No, see, it's a movie reference. There's this knight, and he keeps losing the fight that he's in, but he refuses to give up. So when they cut off his arms and legs and stuff, he keeps acting like it's no big deal. And to remain to fight, he keeps saying stuff. It's only a flesh wound. Heh.
Ah, that's like one of the two Monty Python movies I've watched. Is that the title of the movie?
No, the movie is called Monty Python.
Ah,
It actually kind of sucks. Oh my. Movies from the 90s are so much better. I don't even know why I'm quoting this crap. I must really be in bad shape here.
Terezi tips her head to one side, with what John personally regards as a cute expression, one he believes is unique to her. Whether he's correct or not, it's his belief that there is no one else who emotes in this manner. It's both quizzical and mocking, two descriptors that he considers to be an apt summation of her personality as well. John pauses, reflecting on the word cute as it passes through his mind. He wonders if this is really what he thinks of Terezi, without influence, without delirium, without mistaking one emotion for another. But it is what he thinks of her, quite truthfully. I have no desire to interject thoughts into others' minds, or to sway intent, nor do I see value in masking the reality of the emotions that I transcribe. This is how he feels. His mind, however, has made a habit of being less clear about his thoughts than I am willing to be. John would be mortified with human embarrassment if he could understand the clarity and precision with which I am willing to telegraph his thoughts. But his embarrassment is irrelevant to me. As always, the truth is paramount. John thinks Terezi is very cute. He always has. He thinks she's small for how big she talks. and has a nose that resembles a button. These qualities he regards as particularly adorable due to their sharp contrast with her harsh and incisive demeanor. John recalls the concept of gapmoe, a term which the prince, speaking from his highly self aggrandized position as a scholar of ancient Asian earth lore, once explained to mean a charming, measured discrepancy between one's archetypal appearance and idiosyncratic personal attributes. Terezi is definitely cute, John decides. The conclusion is now at the forefront of his mind.
Is Terezi Gatmoe? Ah. Oh shit. Oh my god. They're not here. They're not here. It's sad. So I have to do it. Hmm. I don't fucking believe this.
But he still resists, doubts himself. Perhaps it's even weirder to frame it this way, he wonders. He fears he is in danger of seeming like the type of creepy human male who is likely to collect large pillows bearing the illustrated images of Japanese earth females. To me, this idea means nothing, but it is causing him to sweat. He is worried that these are the thoughts entertained by a man of low character, by, perhaps, a scoundrel. His worries are interrupted as Terezi floats
Oh.
over and flicks him on the forehead.
Don't don't strain yourself thinking about it too hard there, Egbert.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, that was a dumb metaphor. It's one of those Earth things that's probably impossible for an alien to understand. Maybe it's the blood loss. I'm probably making a fool of myself here.
John, your monkey python anecdote was vintage Egbert tier Adora stupid. Don't worry about it. Besides, on Alternia, it would be considered weird for someone to stop a fight for just losing a limb.
Really?
Yeah, if someone in the military ran away just for that, they'd probably get culled.
Wow. Alternia sucked.
Yeah. Bump.
Suddenly, Terezi sways, feeling woozy. John reaches out to catch her shoulders, steadies her. Now closer, he examines her face in detail. Her complexion is chalky. Compared to humans, trolls have little color to lose. When they feel ill, there is a pallor to them, a dusty quality running deeper than the surface of the skin.
Whoa. Are you okay?
Of course not. John, I am in the process of starving to death. Didn't I just say I've been out here for a long time?
Alright. I'm just worried about you, dumbass. You don't need to jump down my throat about every little thing.
I'm sorry.
Just how long have you been out here, Terezi?
I have no idea. Time passes differently here, and I'm not always in a straight line. Sometimes it feels like I've been here 100 sweeps. I'm not even sure that's not true. It's hard to say stay anchored.
Phew. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Here, look. I found my dad's wallet floating out here, like fucking randomly. Can you believe that? Let's see if there's any food in it.
She hesitates, weighing her temptation to playfully antagonize John against the virtue of sincere expression. There are times she worries the latter may be more appropriate.
Thanks, Egbert.
No problem, we're friends, Terezi. It's not like I'm going to let you die out here just because we bicker sometimes. You don't have to be so on guard. Actually, I'm glad to see you. I've been thinking about you a lot lately.
When John opens the wallet, the first thing he sees stored in the spacious modus is a spare car. His ever-prepared father must have capsullocked the second one as a backup, perhaps, as John speculates, in case his primary vehicle got a flat tire.
You what, John?
Uh, hold that thought. Check this out.
John deploys the spare car. It looks brand new, like the day his father bought the other one back from the dealership. It strikes John as the first bit of good luck he's had all day. Terezi is less impressed.
Is this pathetically primitive four-wheel device edible, or am I misunderstanding something here?
No, it's just that I.
John's vision is dark and blurry around the edges. He is reminded he is not in perfect physical condition either, and could use a moment of rest. He climbs onto the trunk of the car, assuming a sitting position, with his legs dangling in front of the bumper. He exhales, then turns to look at Terezi. He pats the place beside him, inviting her to sit. She looks skeptical but relents, shimmying up next to him on the chrome. She shrugs out of the straps of her rocket pack. They sit silently for several minutes, shoulders 2 inches apart. The atmosphere is thin and chilly. Below their dangling feet, the black hole looms, watching them. Above, the sky seems to stretch on more infinitely than a typical infinite expanse, without being boxed in by the properties of space or time. John observes Terezi watching the sky. The light flickers, meteoric, over her sharp features. It casts pools of shadow beneath her eyes, and in the dip of her neck. His innocent thoughts continue, with the cautious yet growing confidence of a skittish animal creeping out of the woods. It is confident only in its surety of being unobserved. Like this, he does not think she is cute at all. No, she is beautiful. This vision of her is haunting to him.
And it's really a mess out here, isn't it?
Yeah.
He opens the wallet again, both to search for something edible and to take his eyes away from her. The objects begin appearing around him as he leafs through the cards: a crumpled fedora, a silk tie, his father's backup cufflinks.
What are you doing out here anyway?
What do you think I'm doing out here? Looking for Vriska, of course.
Still?
What do you mean, still?
Well, it's been years. At least from my perspective, it has. What have you seen since you started looking? There's just nothing out here. Not anymore. If you haven't found her yet, I hate to say it, but she's probably not here. I mean, she went to fight Lord English, right? I was just there, and I didn't see her. And I'm pretty sure everyone who was there is dead now. I wouldn't be surprised if we're the only two people left alive out here.
Terezi stares at him with her wide, red eyes.
Years.
Yes. Oh. A year is about half a sweep.
I know that, fool.
Oh.
It's just sinking in. How time has passed differently for us.
Right.
Time, not in the literal sense of seconds passing by, but progress. You've changed so much, and all I've done is waste my entire lifespan walking in circles.
Okay. Let's not throw in the towel just yet. So do you think, do I actually look that much different to you?
She
Oh,
she
he
leans
died.
in close to sniff him carefully.
Oh, hmm. You smell older, but not as old as I thought you'd be. Ah, ow, what the heck? Oh, it's those like Asian beetle things.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it. Oh, what is that? Ah,
Terezi appears
oh,
delighted. She quickly snatches something out of the open wallet. It is a can of human shaving cream. She clutches it with covetous desperation, her mouth watering.
Terezi, no, that's not food.
John is too late. She sprays the airy white foam directly into her mouth. She is slurping the earth product known as barbasol greedily, groaning in pleasure as it runs down her chin in viscid, frothy rivers. John's eyes bulge at the unappetizing spectacle. He watches with a strange mixture of disgust and fondness. He briefly wonders about the caloric value of the foam. However, regardless of its nutritional merit, it does appear to have restored some of her vigor, so he decides not to interfere. He feels a twinge of pain in his chest and considers it may be on account of missing her so greatly. But no, it's just my brother's tooth, lodged deep in his chest, spreading its poison. It really should be extracted before it's too late.
Um, you feel better yet?
Yes.
That's good. But personally speaking, I feel like total shit. I think we should go back. Home, I mean.
No.
She grabs him by the shirt. Her voice begins to waver. He notices desperation in the dark circles under her eyes.
Please, John. Can we just stay a little longer?
His mind knows he must say no. His sense of self-preservation insists on it. But he simply can't. He redoubles his effort to ignore the pain. He fights back tears. She can sense his great struggle, but says nothing. With a tilt of his head, he gestures toward the car.
Okay. We can stay a little longer. Why don't you rest in the back seat so you can save your energy? I'll drive. Not literally drive, but you know.
Terezi crawls in back, while John floats into the driver's seat. He summons a gust of wind to propel the car through the decaying medium, as he once did on the battlefield so long ago. Terezi closes her eyes the moment her head hits the seat. She snores heavily. John makes a concerted effort not to be creepy about it, by his own estimation of the word's meaning, yet cannot stop looking at her in the rearview mirror. He tells himself it's just to make sure she's still breathing, that it's just to make sure that she's actually there.
Oh. Oh.
The elevator to Jane's office opens, and she stumbles inside. The last traces of trickster mode are bleeding off her aura. The great gift of the sacred boon has run its course for the evening, and though she is not as grateful as she should be, she nevertheless acknowledges the extraordinary benefit it has afforded her, with a slight nod to the mirror. She pulls a hand through her hair, watching in the reflection as the last of the pink coloration fades to black. She has been campaigning this way for some time now. In fact, it's been over a week since she was last seen in public without the aura bestowed to her by the divine lollipop juju. There are many benefits to trickster mode, in that it imbues one with an endless supply of enthusiasm and supernatural positivity. Additionally, it prevents one from dwelling on any given personal problems, or the greater implications of any political statements one might make. However, while a great portion of the electorate adores Jane's elevated sense of charisma and presence when she is in trickster mode, as they should, there are just as many detractors who claim the whole thing is extremely problematic. I doubt this is true, but must also acknowledge it exceeds the scope of my expertise to comment about the subject.
Uh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Uh, I wonder what she said. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's not problematic.
Jane erupts, alone in the elevator, seemingly talking to herself. She appears to be responding to her own inner monologue, which I, admittedly, am presently conducting. She appears to agree with me on the matter. The juju has truly blessed her with great wisdom.
There we okay. Uh, hmm, hmm. I ah apples. I have endured this argument for years, and I honestly cannot see a single problem about it, and that could and about it that could be even thinly construed as problematic. Furthermore, despite the fact that I empathetically do not find it to be problematic, I have in the past politely refrained from indulging in the profane pleasures of the trickster lollipop out of respect for those who do find offense with it. However, citizens of the human kingdom delight in my trickstery antics, and what kind of politician would I be if I were to deny my core voting demographic that sort of red meat? Or candy, I suppose, to imply that I am supercilious, superciliously and recklessly stoking potentially dangerous cultural fires is honestly an insult. I am guilty of only one crime, energizing my base.
She is saying it better than I could possibly say it myself. It is unusually gratifying to witness a human with such high regard for hallowed cultural artifacts and the unparalleled blessings they bestow upon lesser beings.
Uh, uh, Wait, who am I talking to?
Jane rubs her eyes under her glasses and groans. Trickster mode is also quite exhausting. What a strange quirk of human biology that excess euphoria must necessarily be followed by crippling despair. She carelessly tosses the lollipop on the floor, lurches toward her desk. No. She turns around promptly, her body jolted by surprise of her sudden reversal. She bends over, cradles the lollipop reverentially, and situates it carefully in a place signifying respect. Atop the mantel, after clearing space for it by shoving several brittle, worthless objects to the floor. Only then does she drag herself to her desk, her legs shaking, as if she has just run a great distance. The moment she sits down, her phone begins to ring.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Um, that's like that's something. Maybe I stall somehow and talk about Jane being non-problematic, not problematic in any sort of ways, I guess. Like, uh, she's saying it better than I could possibly say it myself. Yeah, yes. Caucasian powers. It's no longer Caucasian powers. It's Pe- peach, peach powers. Is that what it is now? Peach. I think that's what it was. Something that was, eh. Yes, peachy powers. Uh, hmm. I wonder. Gallivander's Ascent. Do you by chance have a better time on the Gerbos?
I'm messaging him right now.
Oh, oh, okay. Hmm. I think the website version has 1/10 chance of something, of or something getting Caucasian. That'd be, eh, unless it was like original like that, it's pretty all right. But if it wasn't, then it's just like, why even have it be there? Just like go all in one or the other. Hmm. Um, oh wait, I hit the epilogues again. So I meant to hit this so I could look at. Oh, well, not that. There we go. Where is this at? I'm tired. Whoa. That was kind of loud. I can do this, yes. There we go. There we go. The non-existent version of Jane, I guess. Flashback to the Collide stream. There we go. You missed both Cascade and the Prom Sleuth ending, but stayed for that. You hit one of the endings at least. This is why I need to be looking at the stream while at work. See, this version of Jane in the Snapchat is not that same Jane at all. Actually, though, right? So this is fine. This is actually not problematic. Candy and Meat Jane, kind of problematic, maybe. Yeah, she's problematic, but this one's not. This one's not. As long as you don't look at the one when she implies she's gonna be like a god over everyone, but like, wouldn't you want to worship Jade Crocker? Jane Crocker, sorry. I don't know why I always do that. I always mix up Jane and Jade, like, so much, and it ruins me. It ruins me. I'll like be talking about Jade and saying good things about Jade, but I'll say Jane on accident. And Jade just doesn't deserve that kind of glazing. Like, not.
That's what I'm saying. Though, to be honest, I don't think Jane does either.
Wow. Why? Why not?
She's a little problematic.
Oh, scary. Let's do that. We'll do that. There we go. Like, but she likes funny things though. She's goofy, you know, little goofster.
Whatever, man.
There she is.
You know, I was originally going to be like, Jane's not problematic. I mean, the story's outright saying it's not problematic, but I can't even do the bit.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had to double back on that one, to be honest.
Man, this guy not answering me.
They're probably driving at 1,000 miles per hour.
Scary.
Actually, they're probably not driving. Otherwise, they'd be texting. Oh my god, very dangerous. Don't do that, you know. I forgot how many posters Jake had in his room. Actually, I am.
Can't even see the wall.
The issue, right? I guess. So like Jake actually has some actually good movies on his list, right? But that's just because there's like blue women in them. Back to more simple and innocent times. Terminator's Salvation. Did I watch that movie in theaters? think I did. Hmm. But I'm not here for Jake. I'm only here for Jane. I've never watched Arrested Development. Hmm. Hmm. See, three problem sleuth posters actually. That's why she's the goat. That's why she's the goat. Three problem sleuth posters. Okay. I guess I continue this through. They're not gonna be here, and I must continue. Ah, oh well. I'll hit mute there on the Discord, and I shall continue. So cold. Some maybe. um, let's use the other one. There we go. Hmm. 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 Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Don't spend too much time in the trickster mode. Is that all you have to say? In general, not by a long shot, but pertaining to the specific issue, yeah. Because you should know better. At this rate, you're going. At this rate, you'll burn yourself out before we even go up to the ballots. Can you just trust me on this one for once? I'm a bit too preoccupied at this exact moment to turn my chair backwards and rap at you about the dangers of doubt. Ah, I know what I'm doing, Dirk. Do I need to remind you that all of this was initially my idea? In that case, how about we tap into some of that outrageous political acumen of yours? Dial back on the manic pixie dream candidate bullshit and focus a little more on substance, substantive, substan, ah, substantive policy. Good enough. Speeches. Oh, come on, Dirk. Both you and I know that that isn't how politics work. Yeah, you're right. I can't believe I actually said that with a straight face. You say everything with a straight face. Another fair point. See, Jane, this is why you're going to clean his fucking clock in the debates. All I'm saying is, there are better ways to go about unscrupulously manipulating the electorate. Ah. Then burning through your entire lifetime supply of dopamine. Like perhaps gaining the ever vaunted endorsement of one Jake English. Exactly. You know, the last time we spoke about this issue, I could have sworn you asked me to let you handle Jake. Hmm. I guess I didn't say that. Dirk, are you doing quite okay? It's very unlike you to forget details like that. I'm fine, Jane. And then I like go cough, cough. Mm-hmm.
The prince is not fine. He is not the type who takes well to having his plans upended, or his control of a shared vehicle fully suppressed. My brother wasn't much that type either.
Fuck off. I'm nothing like that guy. Huh? What guy? Uh, Forget it. I was talking to someone else. Who? Is someone else there with you? I. No. It's nobody. Let's just drop it, okay?
Yet, unfortunately for everyone in the corporeal realm, the prince isn't the type to overlook the need for backup plans either. He devises contingencies for both success and failure. Wheels within wheels, as he likes to imagine. In his workshop, the prince machinates,
Oh.
while the seer both diminishes and ascends. He's being careful to make sure the precise nature of his activity is obscure. He closes his mind to all observation. He scatters many stray parts across his work table and busies himself with a variety of misleading mechanical tasks to hide the true intent of his schemes from me. But certain objects and actions strike me as more notable than others. That very long red rifle on the table, for example, a weapon that does not belong to him and has not been used in a long time. He has he has been returning to the rifle between his other menial activities of probable misdirection. He dismantles it, reassembles it, slides off the receiver cover to examine the firing mechanism. The prince clearly believes he is a very clever boy. My brother did too.
Christ. So, on the Jake issue, unfortunately, my influence is a little limited at the moment. What does that mean? A whole lot of bullshit that I don't have the time or patience to explain right now. All you need to know is that I'm working on a solution to both my problem and yours. Until then, you should figure out how to get Jake to, at the very least, avoid taking a sign. Actually, I have been thinking. Perhaps this attempt to get Jake on our side is the wrong angle from which to approach this vexing problem. Wouldn't it be much easier to discredit or blackmail him? He is much beloved in the Troll Kingdom for his carefully cultivated posterior, true. But we both know that his bottom is not the only intimate attribute for which he is famed amongst trollish citizens. It would take almost nothing to expose his many dalliances through the human media. Oh boy. I know. Not to be judgmental, but his zipper is as loose as his pants are tight. That's not what I meant by, oh boy. You don't think it would work? Oh, it can work. A certain illusion of boyish innocence is an important part of his brand. You contrast that innocence with the gyrating of his sinewy thighs, beaming raw, sweating sexually right into the camera on live TV 5 nights a week. That's what makes Jake English work as a marketable commodity. The tension between the two, the inherent friction there. He's gotta look coy as all get out. Like he has no idea how sexy he is. Like if you actually got him into bed, he'd completely disintegrate into a blushing mess of hesitation and sexless uncertainty. Wow. I've never heard anything more preposterous in my life. Yeah, well, his fans get off on it. So, what's the problem? The part of your plan that involves exposing his promiscuity with trolls in order to hurt his chances with the human folk, and thereby framing interspecies sex as an inherently scandalous thing. I don't know, Jane, that sounds pretty fucking xenophobic. Not again. What isn't xenophobic? Well, for one thing, what you just said there, probably also xenophobic. What? So, oh, we're joined by Gerbos. Gerbos, he's here. Oh my gosh. Let's put him on the table too. Make him like tiny again. There we go. That scared me. How's it going, Mr. The tactician Gerbos and Gerbos tactician shaken,
Yes.
not stirred?
Yes. Oh. Wait. Sorry, that's just how it is. You either gotta roll with the woke shit or decide to commit laborious, symbolic, melodramatic suicide in the process of utterly giving up.
Huh?
Yes, it is confusing, but that's just why you're lucky to have me as your top advisor and strategist.
The prince appears to have discarded the pretense of misdirection at his work table and is focused solely on the red rifle. He clicks the casing back into place. He sets the weapon on his shoulder so he can test the view through the scope. The setting sun bounces off the slick, red and metal, and slices a bar of light across the wall behind him.
Ah, ah, ah. Ah, Dirk, do you want me to deal with Jake or not? You've offered nothing helpful yet, but you've shot down all my ideas.
That's because lately, all your ideas have been fucking terrible, Jane. Seriously, you've got to quit the trickster pop. It's rotting your brain.
Said the heathen, the cur, a true Philistine. Jane's head swivels sharply to look at the juju on the mantel. She admires it longingly, piously. She will never relinquish her priceless boon, no matter what reprehensible lies the prince whispers into her ear.
Then what do you want me to do?
Play defense for a while. Like I said, I've got some cakes in the oven, so to speak, but we can't set them on the cooling plate just yet, so go make some fondant in the meantime.
Jane frowns. The baking metaphor felt like one contrived purely for her benefit, and therefore condescending, and yet she hates how effective it was. She laments her own weakness for being so easily swayed by a well-delivered baking comparison. She lets the prince go and begins making her own plans. In his workshop, the prince lines up an imaginary shot. He pulls the trigger, listening to the pieces within slide and click together in a satisfying concert of metallic sounds. Impeccably assembled, perfectly greased. The gun is not loaded, but the shot goes off without a hitch. What do you think you're up to, Prince?
Your ass is mine, Jake English.
He speaks under his breath inaudibly, perhaps frustrated, unaccustomed to scheming while others look over his shoulder. It's possible he is not as bold, or as confident in his own designs as I believed.
I fucking said your ass is mine, Jake English.
Damn. Damn. Oh. Oh. Maybe he meant in a different way, even. No. Chaps. Chaps? Chaps. Chaps. Don't you love to take the rigorous jaunt about the wild first thing in the morning, middle thing in the day, the last thing in the evenings? No.
Carquette both looks and feels uncomfortable in his red and gray suit. He is tired from an afternoon of campaigning in the consort kingdom. Jake is jaunting rigorously, as he put it, up the ridge of the mountain behind his mansion. Every now and then, he pauses to accommodate the pace of his less limber friends.
By Jove, Carcat, that you are so winded by such little activity is truly alarming. We've been hiking for a fucking hour, dipshit. I can already feel my legs starting to lock up. I think they're getting a head start on the rigor mortis. Because you're fucking killing me, is what I'm saying, by making me hike through nature in a fucking suit. Great work, everyone. You'll be offering up some pre-assassinated president to the frenzied electorate. Awesome strategy. Perhaps you need a better calisthenics routine. I can suggest several alterations to your morning workout and even give you a lesson or two myself. My morning workout? I couldn't think of a more offensively presumptuous phrase if I tried. Also, what the fuck is calisthenic? Is a calisthenic? Is that the name of your fan cherub?
Carquette's tirade is interrupted as he trips over a protruding tree root. Dave, who has been cheating on their hike by hovering very slightly off the ground rather than walking, catches Carquette before his face hits the dirt. He sets his companion upright and continues to guide him with his hand on his back as he walks, the way an older human does with a small child who is learning to ride a bicycle.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I swear,
Look on the
could
screen.
this day possibly get any stupider?
that's my guy. Oh, you're a meshy.
Hey, Kuwabara, you're conscious. I'm not used to that.
That was a cheap shot last time. I was only knocked out for a little bit, okay? Now I'm glad you're back. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. It's warm. It's warm, and I lose my mind in the heat a little bit. You're a meshy. Hey, Jake, we're cool on the whole cardio program or whatever. Kirkat's not really what I'd call a kinesthetic learner. Hey, I can hold my own in a threshing match better than 99% of the squishy, blasted human population on this planet. I was literally training to be a combat specialist on Alternia. Maybe we should sometimes try to remember and fucking respect that fact about me. You're a meshy. Gonna make another mental note about which material to avoid when writing your campaign speeches. Like, dude is nuts with a sickle, can carve a bloody arc through a surrounding circle of gathered squishy humans. Watch their guts spill on the floor while he roars at the sky in honor of his genocidal ancestors. We're kind of trying to downplay the idea that trolls are naturally good at violence and shit here. Hey, speaking of which, Jake, you wanna back Karkan's election or what?
Jake spins around in his worn boots. He bites his lip and looks at the ground.
I see. That was your purpose in coming out here. Yeah, that is basically the only reason either of us would waste time climbing a mountain instead of, like, almost perfectly replicating the experience by checking out sweet stock photos of a mountain on the CrockerNet image search while spraying our hive with air fresheners or something. Oh, hey, wait, that reminds me. Isn't it fucked up how Jane literally owns the internet? I'd never really thought about it, I admit. It's pretty fucked up, trust me. Like, she already owns the major method of information dissemination, and now she wants to be the one ultimately in control of what information gets disseminated. Do you really think one person should have all that power? The answer is no, idiot. Yeah, you're a meshy, yeah, which is why you should back us in our campaign. Our campaign slogan for the purpose of this conversation only is, hey, isn't it cool how we're not Jane, and also we don't want to own everything? And also, man, on a more personal note, I mean, have you even seen the shit Jane's been saying about you in the media?
A look of sadness sweeps across Jake's face, but he quickly turns it into a glare of indignation.
To this random Discord message, nah, I don't think so. By Jove. I've seen the shit you've been saying about her. Your poorly optimized billboards about huge dunks on the economy and neoliberal austerity measures, tumbling down geometrically improbable staircases have made quite the stir in the neighborhood. These advertisements play at all hours of the night, my god, man. One can hardly get a wink of sleep. Yeah, but at least we paid for it out of our campaign dollars instead of spinelessly setting up super PACs to spew out propaganda for us. Super PACs? Oh yeah, listen to this bullshit. So, they're technically expenditure independent committees, meaning they can allocate unlimited funding for...
Carquette covers Dave's mouth, having had the concept of the super PAC laboriously explained in his presence more than once. In his estimation, there are few individuals on this world who would benefit less from an in-depth discussion of political financing procedure than Jake English.
The issue with me is, like, I would really find it fun to see how Dave describes it completely, like everything, every single thing. Like, we get like snippets of things. I just want to, like, I want one full page that's like obnoxiously long of just Dave explaining everything. Like
actually, like, going into depth on his, like, views on the economy that he just never shuts up about.
Yes, I wanna. That's what I want. That's what I want. I it would boost Dave in my mind. Ah, God, I would love it. Like you get like the Obama thing in Candy. Like cool Obama. That's fun. But you know what would be funner? Just Dave talking about the economy for longer than a Homestuck recap. That's what I want. Ah, God. Oh, and then I don't know, maybe let Dirk have, I don't know, a paragraph or something too. I guess. Jane can doesn't need anything like that. She's I don't even know what she thinks. In this matter, it might make me not like Jane. You know. Um. Hmm. Hmm. To bring back the leprechaun chart. Hmm. Look, Dave. Jake really doesn't care what a super PAC is. I don't think anyone cares about fucking super PACs. I know you put a lot of work into your spiel about it, especially the rapt sequence. Fuck, man. They're like tickling me a little bit with this shit. But you're never going to get anybody to give a fuck about this stuff, man. I'm sorry. Noof, noof, noof. What the fuck? Jake, the point is this. What's he trying to say? Jane. Noof. I guess it's just random. Jane is having you smeared indirectly. Well, that would be the way to do it, I suppose, if you wish to keep Clean's hands in an inherently dirty business.
Dave peels Carquette's hand off his mouth and bumps him away with his hip so that he may continue saying things he regards as terribly important for others to hear.
You're a meshy. Okay, well partition, partially, but that's partially my point. We're doing all our propaganda in-house instead of outsourcing to unscrupulous shadow networks with deep money pockets, for better or for worse. What does that mean? As much as I appreciate your artistic vision, Dave, I think that your political ads are largely going over people's heads. They're kind of bold? No. Oh, you mean avant-garde? Well, yeah, everyone knows that. Not really how I would put it either. Nuanced? Oh, wait. Visionary? You think they're visionary as fuck? Oh, yeah, you got me. I'm a forward thinker, Carcat. This is just what life is like in the Dave Lane. Buckle the fuck up. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm going to say this for the last time. Sweet bro and no, I don't want to read this. Sweet bro and Hella Jeff is absolutely horrendous subject matter for producing campaign ads. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, but it was proven to be effective in a different universe, wasn't it? Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about or what point you're trying to make. Yeah, it's awesome. You're wasting campaign money. We're fucking trillionaires, dude.
As the Vantis campaign bickers internally, Jake becomes pensive, thoughtful. He kicks a rock over the edge of the trail and watches it bounce down the mountain with a baleful expression.
What a story it is. It's a great story so far. As long as Dave keeps talking. Will Lickers? Willikers. I almost had it there that time. You know, why is Willikers the one word you like help me on in like over this course? This is like
Because it's funny.
okay. I was just curious.
It's funny hearing you stumble sometimes.
Willikers. Nobody understands it besides Dave and Dirk, really. Williker. By Jove, Willikers, Dave, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny talent for cutting straight and incisively to the point without sweating any of the bullshit? You're rather like Dirk in that way, actually. What? Dave is good at cutting through bullshit. Strider is a fog machine of pure bullshit. There's nothing that comes out of his mouth that is not bullshit. You're a Meshi, that's basically true. And I'm pretty sure Dirk might be even worse. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, Jake. I know we're soliciting you for the sway your hot popular ass has over the people. But not exactly your brain power. So maybe this is somewhat unfair, but that may have been the worst take I've ever fucking heard in my life. Whoa, chill out, man. You're a Meshi. Remember, we're trying to woo this guy onto our side. Can you maybe go at least a solid minute without forgetting you're a fucking politician now? That means you should try not to insult everybody you meet multiple times per sentence. Fuck. Yeah, I know. I'm fucking sorry, Jake, for implying that you have slightly less cerebral processing power than the sweaty wedgie this fucking suit is giving my throbbing hike at sore ass. Nope, that still sucks. You suck, dude. Yeah, well, chew on this, master strategist. Maybe you telling me I suck is actually the smartest thing you've ever fucking said. Gentlemen, Jeepers fucking Christmas. Jeepers fucking Christmas. Jeepers fucking Christmas. I was trying to pay Mr. Strider a gracious compliment. Not every little pleasantry needs to be taken with such blasted literalism. And I appreciate that you're trying to sway my political favor into your bungalow with a bit of the old elbow grease and cajolery. Cajolery? Yeah. Even if your methods are wont to veer into the full-throated invective in virtually every single exchange, no matter how harmless the topic. And I truly mean it when I say I do appreciate the efforts, both at the brown nosing as well as the dubious restraint when it comes to impunging my noodle. But all this is adding up to make me wonder.
Jake slices a hand through the air, determined to display his newfound autonomy. It's growing by the minute, now that his thought process has been severed from the prince's grip. An old confidence fills him as he continues to speak, a feeling of inner freedom he hasn't enjoyed in some time.
Why? Why should I side with either of you? Flattery is all well and good, but I hardly think I would bother casting my knickers in with anyone's lot. Yes. Anyone's lot based on the quality of praise, or for that matter, withholding them due to having my ego bruised from verbal drubbing. I'm not entirely ignorant of the rules of this jamboree. I understand that whoever I endorse will have a good chance of winning on nothing but my good word. So why should I trust anyone trying to win my favor right now? Do you have any case to make which does not involve glowing accounts of my muscular bottom?
I know it seems like an objectively good thing from some pithy moral standpoint to everyone in this little drama Jane's cooked up making their own decisions. But trust me, Jake isn't thinking for himself any more than he was while being indirectly controlled. Everything he's thinking and feeling right now is merely reactive. He's like a mostly dead bug twitching around on the last of its hemolymph after getting its head cut off. Under my guidance, he was like an ant being influenced by the cordyceps fungus. You can't really call one of these better than the other, but at least the latter is being directed towards some greater purpose.
For a moment, Jake thinks he hears something, a minuscule voice, prattling along vaingloriously. But he realizes it's only a tiny insect buzzing about his ear, a gnat-like presence of absolutely no consequence. He simply waves it away.
You're a Meshi. Oh yeah, we can do that. You mean like an actual pitch on policy or shit, or vision for the world? We can set you up, bro. Or, I mean, this guy can. That's what he was made for. Born fucking leader right here. What? Take it away, man. Our boy Jake here wants to be goddamn dazzled.
Dave grins and affectionately taps Karkat on the head with his knuckles. Karkat unwinds from Dave's loose embrace, takes a deep breath, and clambers up the ridge to speak with Jake in a more personable proximity. He has learned new methods for connecting with others on the campaign trail. How to speak broadly, with sweeping conviction, and yet create a sense of intimacy when addressing an individual. He has learned to come across as one who was once a leader, and could be again.
Look, Jake, I'm not going to try to sell you some ludicrous story about how I'm the best candidate Earthsea has ever seen or anything. I'm not going to be that arrogant, especially since my arm had to be twisted right out of its socket to get me to even run. But at least we're not hiding our intentions. At this point, it's not a policy beef that I have with Jane Crocker. You're a mesh, yeah. I'm the one with the policy beef. Corporate welfare destroys public infrastructure. Shut up. I'm talking. Word. Damn, he's like, Dave's a little hot and bothered right there. It's like, you gotta see the vision, though. We're still living on an incredibly young planet. Let's be real. Every president up until now has just been some bozo basically play acting at being in charge. Because this whole time everyone's been holding their breath waiting for one of us to run. Whoever wins, me or Jade, will set the tone for subsequent administrations for who knows how fucking long. It's entirely possible that Jane will prove to be a competent president. I have no doubts on her administrative acumen, considering that's probably the only fucking thing she has going for her. Besides a series of physical attributes which I keep being told aren't too hard on the eyes. But frankly, I don't know if I'm Whoa. Whoa, Carcat. Whoa. I mean, she's like, all right, I fucking guess. Whew, okay. Now, let's not be too unfair, old chap. Even Jake had to come in at this point. Like, come on. I think I'm allowed to be unfair when she's holding the reproductive right to my entire species hostage. Point well met. Jake, she will set a horrible precedent. She's indirect. She's privileged. She's concerned with how things look rather than how things are. No matter how nice she was when you were kids, her dedication to the appearance of that niceness has already led her down a path of corruption and duplicity. Because when you live inside a skin that's a lie, you'll either grow to fit it or collapse under the unbearable weight of your own shit-spewing cognitive dissonance. Trust me, I fucking know. Because I used to spew an untold amount of shit. Yeah, you're a meshy, yeah, used to. Dude, what the fuck do you want? Get off my bulge. You wanted me to spin some fucking gold? To bust out the good shit? There, I said it. That was the good shit. I'm done. I did my thing. This mincing half-wit in the tiny shorts can do whatever the fuck he wants now. No, that was good, man. I was just messing with you. Great job, dude. I love it.
Jake chews on these remarks for a minute. He loves Jane and Dirk dearly. He has loved both of them for years, on and off, in multiple fashions and configurations, in accordance with the human understanding of this feeling. He thinks it could break Jane's heart were he to oppose her. And yet, hasn't she fired the first shot by broadcasting such scandalous things about him in the media? It was so soon after they'd nearly had an intimate reconciliation. The more he thinks on it, the more Jake struggles to believe in the sincerity behind Jane's friendship with him. And the prince, Dirk, as he knows him, hasn't been giving much thought by Jake recently. Jake has been savoring the fruits of a mental liberation he is barely aware of, let alone capable of comprehending. When he considers crossing Dirk, he's not afraid of making him angry or hurting his feelings. He's simply always wanted to avoid disappointing him. And yet, with the cognitive cloud of Dirk's influence dispelled, Jake now cannot shake the feeling that the best course of action would be one that asserts the most independence from Dirk, disappointment be damned. And to whatever extent the prince intends to put Jake's life in jeopardy, for now, his agency remains safely obscured from his sniper sight.
Well, dash my. Wait, what? By Jove. Well, dash my wig. I'll do it. Dash your. Dash your what? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Do you want me to? I don't know if you had anything else to say.
No. You're good. You're good. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I told. I don't know. I told Mister Gerbos. The cough. That's like the signal. And that's why sometimes I just say cough. Yeah. Maybe that's why maybe I should just say cough because sometimes it might be construed as like a normal cough, which is a natural function and happens a lot. Like I've actually coughed a fair amount today during the stream. I hope I've hit the mute button like each time. I hope so. Um, yeah, but I guess another just quick thing. We love Jane, man. We believe. I believe she'll come around. She'll come around. She'll come around. Ah, you're good to go.
Terezi is munching her way through another tin of human fatherly tobacco as John crawls into the back seat. This has been the ritual for several days. Precisely how many, they couldn't say. Between her frequent naps and his diligence in keeping a lookout for any additional survivors, they have been losing track of time. John, eyes unfocused, stares at the expanse of nothingness. Perhaps he imagines it, but it seems as if the emptiness itself is curving against the staggering weight of the black hole they orbit. He hasn't seen any sign of Vriska. He's seen no one at all. It's just him, Terezi, and the sky on all sides. He scoots back to lean against the car door, drawing his knees up to his chest, unsure how to act around Terezi or how much room to give her. She holds out a handful of tobacco.
Ah, she hold she holds out a handful of tobacco. Damn, we're getting indigenous with this, man. Getting native with this now. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. Um, it's hot. It's hot, kinda. It's, I don't want to install my air conditioner just yet. It'll cost me like how much would it cost me if I can wait a week? Say like $10, 10, $20, depending. 'Tis the life. The bears will come. The bears. One bear has already come by. Actually, that happened. That happened. I had to fight him off. It was a struggle, but um, was just simply not a match. Simply no match. Hmm. Hmm. Want some? Want some delicious candy shavings?
Ew, no. Do you have any idea what you're eating right now?
She shrugs and licks the crumbs off her hand. His eyes can't help but follow the motion of her tongue. It leaves a trail of faintly teal saliva behind that glistens in the strange light coming through the windows.
It's like a poison plant. You're not supposed to eat it. You're supposed to put it in a pipe and smoke it. I think that if I ate it, I'd probably get mouth cancer or something.
You get like really high, nicotine high. You know, how does like a nicotine high like feel actually? Like especially like when it's like just raw fucking tobacco. Hmm. Um. Do any of you lads chew tobacco?
No, I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate of chew.
Ah,
Now I'm a straight edge.
oh, oh. Sorry for that. Yeah. Humans eat a ton of poisonous plants as easily as they breathe. You can't really criticize. Ah. To the untrained ear, you might almost imagine Burgess stalling to try to goad someone to do a specific voice. That would be the untrained ear. Sorry, there's like a Discord chat going on, and I'm being harassed. Yes, that's the term to use here. Yes. Huh. Hmm. Oh, there's like little puppies outside. What are they doing? Wait, I'll be right back. Hey guys, enjoy Gerbrel's Tactician and Gallivanter's Ascent. Picture I have like a laugh, like not a laugh track, like an applaud sound track playing.
Yahoo! Yippee! Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on one sec.
Oh, okay.
What?
Oh, nothing,
Funny.
nothing.
So how about that alternate Calliope? Am I right?
I have no clue what's going on. Can I get like a TLDR so far or something?
I'm trying to think of like what like what do I even say to like recap?
Or well, just thus far in meat. How about that?
Like what you've missed since last reading?
Nah, just since the beginning to now.
Beginning. Do you want me to recap the entirety of Mate so far?
Yes.
I haven't been paying attention. I don't remember what's happening. Okay, so here's how it goes. Okay, so in the prologue, Calliope and Roxy. Oh, never mind. This guy's back. I don't have to recap shit.
Oh. Okay. Hi. Hello. I'm back. What did I miss? I guess. Can you recap that?
This guy admitted that he hasn't been doing his homework or he hasn't been paying attention in class, so he doesn't know what's going on in Meat. So he was like, "Hey, can you explain to me what's happening in Meat in general?"
Oh, okay.
I was just like agog because
he's like the narrator for
yeah.
a fair chunk of this. Oh, it's warm. It's so warm. Why is it so warm? Hmm. I sorry about that. What's going on? I don't know. Alt Kelly is good. A dead tier Calliope from a different timeline took control of the Nair from Dark by using Jade as a medium. Boy, you two are gonna be lost in Homestuck too. This going to become a running gag. Don't worry, I haven't either. Both of them admit to not paying attention. Oh. Here we go. Wait, where was I at? It's right here, right? The poison plant? No.
Yeah, the poison plant.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Or I think you were at Terezi's part specifically.
Oh, okay. Aha. Okay. Well, if you were blind and saw with your nose and tongue, it would taste like chocolate.
Seriously? So, is that kinda like synesthesia?
Synesthesia.
Synesthesia? Synesthesia? Synesthesia, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Are all trolls like that, or just you? I've always wondered.
She gives him a narrow-eyed look. Her thick eyelashes shadow her gaze. He feels anxious without knowing why. It's as if he's waiting for something to happen, for something to change.
Why, John? Why, John? Are you curious about me?
No, I mean, yes. Your whole licking thing has always been kind of weird. A lot of things about you are weird. I feel like we talk a lot, but I still know almost nothing about you since so many of our conversations were just,
Bullshit.
yeah, I guess. I always felt like you were trying to fight me for some reason. I can't just talk to you normally. It always has to be like a jokey argument or a snark off or something.
For it to be a snark off, you'd have to prove a worthy opponent, Eggberg.
See, like that. You just always do that.
Terezi's expression changes in a subtle way, slowly, like the tide pulling out. She snaps the tobacco tin shut and sets it down on the floor of the car.
I I suppose I can be pretty difficult to be around.
Oh no, I didn't mean. I'm sorry, Terezi.
He unfolds his legs so he can set a comforting hand on her shoulder. He wonders if he's allowing it to linger there longer than it should.
Look, I've been really depressed and antisocial for the last few years. So I guess going on this insane suicide mission out of nowhere has been making me get all, philosophical about my relationships and shit. I think I've been out here long enough that I'm starting to forget what certain basic things feel like. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm all numb inside. And this fucking toothbrush in my chest is. Oh, tooth. Why did I say tooth? The fuck? Tooth in my fucking chest isn't helping either. I think I just want to have a real conversation with someone.
He pushes her shoulder, lightly, so that they're looking at each other.
Terezi, I want to have a real conversation with you.
Terezi makes very close eye and nose contact with John, in a way that comes across as intently sincere. This arrangement lasts for about 10 seconds before her mouth cracks in a grin and she doubles over laughing.
Oh my god, that's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh, come on.
Egbert, no matter how old or young you are, you've never changed. You are positively, truly, and undeniably the biggest fucking dork I have ever known.
Haha. Okay, I get it. Sorry I said anything. Jeez.
Oh, don't look like that. I didn't say it was a bad thing. I actually find it refreshing.
She pulls her legs up under her. Her shoes catch the light and reflect it all over the ceiling in little red dots. John's heart skips a beat.
You're wearing Jane's shoes?
Terezi frowns, and then her eyes widen as if she's been caught. Her reply is defensive.
They were in the wallet.
Oh, yeah. I guess I put them in there.
I like them. I can take them off if it's creeping you out, though.
No, it's fine. It just makes me think about.
The doomed timeline, he means. The state of the session he entered, where he was confronted with billions of pieces of debris from several shattered planets. He pictures Terezi's lifeless body as it collapses onto a corpse-shaped chalk outline she drew for herself.
You know what happened, right? The first time we all met up and tried to fight the Conans? We were completely unprepared and basically got our asses handed to us. By which I mean, everybody died. I think about it a lot. I guess it's kind of hard not to think a lot about seeing all your friends die horrible deaths. But I also think about you from that timeline a lot too,
Me? Why is that?
because you were amazing. I couldn't believe how you could hold it together while you were literally bleeding to death. Almost like it wasn't even bothering you. Like you were actually in the process of dying horribly, and you still went to the bother of dunking on me with your scarf instructions. You were so brave. It was like you were undefeatable that day, like you were refusing to let us lose. I think I carry around that memory whenever I think about you. Maybe why I always feel like you're sort of steamrolling over me when we talk. I think I'm still a little intimidated by you. I guess that sounds kind of stupid though.
Suddenly, Teresa's voice is very small.
I, I, I remember all that.
You do?
She nods, smiling grimly.
Hmm. That, that's why I'm out here. You see, that doomed Terezi made Vriska so much. Missed Vriska so much. It was like a hole in her heart. I remember the way she felt because one time all her memories came flooding back. I even got to see what happened when she died. She and another Vriska ghost finally found each other. It made me so happy getting to feel that, as if it was one of my own memories. It just reinforced the feeling that there was something special between us. I just kept hanging on to that belief right up until, oh, I don't know. Now, I've practically devoted my life to certain memories, to the idea that two people can be meant to be with each other on some cosmic level, even if they always seem to get each other into trouble. All that investment, all that searching, and for what? Over a sweep together. And she disappeared into the void again. What a huge bitch.
Terezi.
His hand is on her shoulder again, and his other hand has found the other shoulder. John notices his own palm grazing up the side of her neck to cup her face. The act was made with barely a thought, and his own boldness surprises himself.
So I had to go back up for a moment. Hmm.
You saved everyone. You're the only reason we were able to defeat Lord English and win the game at all. If it weren't for you, me and Roxy would have just floated around in paradox space like a couple of losers with no idea what to do. Even worse, I might have tried to fix things myself.
Oh dear God.
Yeah,
Terezi shrugs out from under his grasp, but doesn't move away.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not discounting the objective value of my other self's actions. I'm glad we didn't all die in a doomed timeline and let Lord English finish eating all of space time. But I don't feel it. It's not a rational emotion, John. It's like you.
me.
Yeah, you. Why are you still out here with me?
Um, because I'm not just going to leave you here to die.
You've made very few overtures regarding the subject of going home. You're just letting me continue to pointlessly circle this fucking black hole, even though it's obvious that Brisket is dead. And you're just letting yourself be out here too, as we spiral down the load gamer together.
Oh, I don't know. I have thought about it, to be honest.
Exactly. Etsy is perfect, isn't it? But not for you. You don't feel it.
John swallows a thick breath. He reminds himself that he never wanted perfection, never asked for it. And yet, he feels guilty every day for failing to enjoy it as much as he believes he was supposed to.
You're right. I don't.
If you've been depressed and antisocial these last few years, I bet that your friends miss you.
Probably. But for some reason, I don't feel like I have anything to go home to. You're right. It's not a rational feeling. But It's there anyway.
A tear hits his knee, staining his pants dark. He rubs his eyes furiously. He's afraid Terezi will mock him for his childless display of emotion. But she just watches him, patient and sympathetic. She tips her head to one side and asks,
What ended up happening with Roxy?
I don't know. We just sort of stopped hanging out regularly. Then she got close with Callie, and I felt too awkward to try to figure out where our relationship stood.
Really? Hmm.
What?
I just assumed that by now you two might have gotten together.
Really? Why?
No reason, just a hunch. I don't think it would have worked out though.
What makes you say that?
she taps her nose and winks.
I don't know. That's what having a hunch fucking means, nerd.
Ugh, you're impossible.
True. But you like me anyway.
Yeah, I actually missed you, more than I thought I did.
John wonders, after he makes the statement. What if she just needed someone to tell her that she was missed? A bit late to consider the question, but he considers it anyway. Perhaps this will make her want to end this search and come home with him. He wonders if the time is right, the time to ask.
Terezi, come home with me?
She shakes her head. Her face is turned against the light, so he can't read her expression.
I'm not ready yet.
When will you be ready?
I don't know. Maybe never. If you hadn't found me, I probably would have died right. Is that what I want?
Obviously not, dummy. If you wanted to die so bad, you wouldn't have. Eaten all of that disgusting shaving cream and tobacco.
He gestures to where she still has a smear of shaving cream on the hem of her shirt, crusted over from sitting there for hours. She sniffs at the residue, then lifts her shirt to lick it off, crinkling her nose.
Hmm. You could be onto something.
At least let me make a supply run. Maybe I can get you some real food.
It seems to him like an uncontroversial compromise to offer, so he pulls back, preparing to travel back to Earthsea via his retcon capability. But Terezi grabs him by the wrist.
Wait,
Her eyes are wide, her voice cracked and desperate.
don't go. Please, John. Stay with me just a little longer. If you leave me now, what if you can never find me again in this moment?
Well, we can't stay here forever.
I know.
He has no idea how to react to her behavior. He's never seen her this vulnerable. She's shaking where she is touching him, and her lower lip is visibly trembling. He nods, and she slowly lets go of his arm. They are silent for a minute. They both stare ahead at the car seats in front of them, sitting close enough to hear the beat of each other's hearts.
Do you want me to take a look at your wound?
John had gotten so used to the pain, he'd almost forgotten about it. He looks down at the place where his shirt has grown stiff from the congealed blood. And now that he dwells on it, he can feel the ache again, both from the tooth piercing his flesh, and more insidiously, from the poison that has been delivering into his bloodstream.
Oh, yeah. We should probably do something about that. I feel like if I was gonna die from it, I would have done that already. But it's really lodged in there. I thought maybe it just come out on its own, like when you get a splinter in your foot.
You really aren't dumb, aren't you?
He rolls his eyes. Terezi produces her cane and unsheaths the blade in one fluid motion. The metal rasps against the grain of its sheath rather loudly.
I'm sorry, what? No, it doesn't.
The noise resounds throughout the sealed interior of the car.
Actually, drawing a sword is pretty quiet. It only makes that sound in the movies.
and rings through John's skull like a gunshot.
Are you seriously manifesting inaccurate physical properties of swords for the sole purpose of Antago?
John reflexively backs up against the door at
Oh, fuck this.
the sight of the blade.
Whoa.
Hold still if you. Hold still if you don't want to die for real.
He holds still. Her eyebrows are knitted with fierce determination. She sets a hand on his thigh and draws the blade up under his shirt. He shivers, letting out a breathy laugh at the coolness of the metal against his bare chest. There is a pinch when the congealed, bloody fabric rips from his skin. He glances down. The wound looks worse than what he was imagining. Far more than just a puncture. An uncanny darkness spreads across his chest. The gash is scabbing at the edges, bruised all around. His entire torso appears to be a mottled mess of purple and yellow. Like a sort of fancy earth cheese, Terezi's blade cuts into it, easily, as if it were.
Oh, fuck. Ow. Could have used some warning there, Terezi.
What the hell did you think I was going to do with this sword, idiot?
She's close enough that her breath washes over his face. It smells like shaving cream and tobacco, which is jarring to him, if not surprising. She is without her glasses, and so close that John notices things he hadn't had occasion to before, like how lovely her eyes are, the length of her eyelashes, now that he's really seeing them just inches from his face, is astounding to him. He has never thought of Terezi as particularly feminine, at least in the way humans understand this idea. But he has never been forced to reckon with her features so unavoidably. The dark borders around the perimeter of her eyes are thicker and darker than what most trolls have. The tired bags under them are ditches in the shadows cast by her angular features, made more gaunt from hunger. When she blinks, her lashes brush the ridges of her cheekbones. Her nostrils are flared, assessing the scent of his blood.
Are we doing this or what?
He presses his eyes shut and nods. He feels numb, clammy, jittering down to his bones from a particular sensation. A feeling he still seems to be denying to himself. As his own thoughts struggle to be honest with him, he cannot disguise the truth from me. What he is fighting is an intense desire to kiss her.
Go for it.
She grinds the sword between two of his ribs. The pain returns instantly, his acclamation erased nearly as quickly. He clenches his jaw hard and his head spins. Terezi's blade catches against something.
It's lodged in there pretty good. Brace yourself, Egbert. This is going to sting.
He can feel the tooth moving around against his flesh, the fibrous, spasmodic contractions of his muscles around it. When she wrenches the blade and pops the tooth out, he isn't proud of the sound it makes. He finally opens his eyes. Terezi's arms are covered in this blood. She tosses the sword down to the floor of the car, in what suddenly strikes John as a fairly unhygienic surgical situation, and grabs his shirt with two clenched right fists.
I need to stop the bleeding. Just follow my lead.
She peels him out of his hoodie, and then his shredded t-shirt. He's dizzy. His vision wavers, fades. It takes Terezi's sudden grip on his shoulder to bring him back from the brink. The brink of what? He doesn't know. Unconsciousness? Canonic dissolution? He has no cognizance of what the poison in his vein does to someone, or that it's even in his system. All he knows is that Terezi is the only thing keeping him moored. She holds him firm, her thumb in the dip of his clavicle, her sharp nails etching scores in his back. He watches her tear his t-shirt into a long strip. He lifts his arms obediently as she wraps it around his chest and ties it off. Her hands slide over the bandage and linger there. Her fingers splay on his collarbone, her right hand resting above his heart. She slides her palm down his stomach, then around to his hips, leaving long bloody streaks along his torso. His blood, 10 uneven tracks of it, one for each of her fingers. When his arms come down, they wrap around her shoulders. Pulling her into his lap feels natural to him, a simple redirection of her momentum to guide her closer. What comes less naturally is the first kiss. Her lips are there, hovering just over his, yet he hesitates. His mind is still lying to itself, casting doubt on what it really wants. I don't see a purpose in allowing his self-deceit to continue for much longer. It's wrong to contradict one's true thoughts and feelings. Irrational. Unbecoming of an existence governed by free will. What are you waiting for, John?
For fuck's sake, John, don't say anything stupid right now.
He nods stupidly and leans forward to kiss her. Teresi attacks, closing the gap between them swiftly. She bites into his mouth, drawing blood when she sucks his lower lip. He twists his hands in the fabric of her shirt so hard it rides up her back. John can't tell if it's the pain or the arousal that's emboldening him. It is neither. He is simply being barred from ignoring his true thoughts. Even without the aid of a juju, he is fortunate enough to be blessed with the only true form of divinity. To be released from the prison of nonsensical inhibitions which so often psychologically hobble the more primitive forms of life. In his newfound clarity, he discovers bravery, pulls Teresi's shirt off all the way, and does what he really wants to do, which is ghost his hands all the way up to the curve of her spine. She sighs into his mouth.
Oh my god, your blood smells delicious.
Whoa. Wow. I think you're really pretty in the light of the dead universe.
Teresi rears back with a faint snarl and wraps both her hands around his neck. She doesn't press down, but the weight of her thumbs above his throat makes his heart race.
Then I tell you, don't say anything stupid.
Careful of her grip around his neck, John locks his arm around her waist and pulls her flush against him. She's ravenous when their mouths collide, her desire intensified by the taste and scent of his blood. She doesn't give him a chance to say anything else for a while, stupid or otherwise.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. This Discord message, it threw me off. Okay, John. Oh, and Teresi, right? They're the other person. I really thought John was gonna say something actually super stupid and kind of ruin everything there. Huh. Okay. What am I at right now? Here, I think Kelly's pulling too much of a Dirk. You know, maybe she's like pulling nothing though. You know, you never, you never truly know. Cough.
Roxy is nervously dialing Rose's number repeatedly. Then they try Kanaya. Considering Rose's failing health, Roxy hates to bother her, but they aren't sure who else to call regarding Jade's unexpected trance. Their finger hovers over Dirk's number for a moment, but no, that would not be a good idea. They don't know why they suddenly think it's a bad idea. It just is. Roxy's anxiety fills up the room, like a bell struck in an empty hall. Their thoughts, usually so quiet, invisible to those observing from the vantage of a higher textual plane, now chime loudly in the presence of a black hole. Or rather, in the presence of a proxy for such a vortex of pure void. A proxy such as Jade's mind at the moment. Jade floats over the couch in a sitting position, an inch above the cushions. Her long hair billows around her, her hands crossed in her lap. Her black eyes bore into the nothingness, looking beyond the wall she faces, and beyond everything past it, to the very fabric of the narrative itself. They scan the silvery veins of pacing, motivation, foreshadowing, irony, a continuum that has been upended by the prince's interference. Rose still does not pick up. Roxy resigns himself to a confidant of last resort. The reluctance is not due to a lack of fondness. Their conversations with Dave simply have a reliable habit of straying far from the desired topic for extended periods of time. He picks up on the third ring.
I'm muted. You're a meshy. Yo, love the chat, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Yo, yourself? Yo, yourself, but this is important. More important than salvaging the global economy from potential disaster. Sounds hugely unlikely. Oh.
Dave is currently making his way through the backlot of the new Canton Memorial Stadium, following Jake as he heads toward the podium. He is scheduled to give a speech announcing his official endorsement of Karkat Vantis in his bid for the presidency.
I don't know about that. In terms of scale and relativity and stuff, maybe not. It's actually kind of hard to tell. I guess in the grand scheme of things, she's just taking a sort of nap. But it's one hell of a nap, bro. A nap? You're a meshy. A nap, you say? Well, this changes the fuck out of everything. Yeah? Nah.
It's a balmy, windless evening on Dave's end. The gathered crowd is relaxed by the warmth. Many of them partake in the pleasure of a cool treat, such as earth iced cream.
Cough.
Jesus fuck, this is excruciating.
It isn't.
Yeah, it is.
No, it is not.
Okay, whatever the fuck you say.
The audience is The audience is large and diverse, mostly trolls and Carapacians, but it is dotted with representation from the human and consort kingdoms as well. A lopsided distribution, certainly, but the very model of diversity compared to the crowds of his opponent. It is a true inspiration to all those who have placed their faith in the Vantis ticket.
Lord save me from this fake woke nightmare.
Be quiet.
No.
Yes.
Let me fucking say stuff again.
No. Dave stops walking and cups a hand around his phone in order to hear Roxy over the chatter of the crowd. Karkat shoots him a curious look, but Dave waves at him in a manner which signals to Karkat that he should attempt to stall.
You want to keep shutting me down? Fine, but check this shit out.
LMAO Dark just texted me about this. Somehow he found out that Jay, did you tell him? No. He just said, make sure she gets lots of daylight. That'll help with the exorcism she needs. And also to say hi to Calliope for some fucking reason. You're a meshy, that's weird. Since when does he give a fuck about them? IDK, guess I'll just open the damn curtains and let some light in here. He usually knows stuff about weird things. So what's wrong with her again? Like some sort of demonic nap? Okay, I wouldn't say she's napping per se. She's just like floating here, upright, eyes wide open, and they're both pitch black. Oh, so she saw one of my latest SBHJ campaign ads. LOL, no, dude. Like what I'm saying is she looks like a little possessed by grim spirits and shit. Is she fucking Grimbark again? No, this isn't Grimbark. I know what Grimbark is, Dave. This ain't it. It seems more serious to be Edge, like existing in some transformative state that isn't a literal fucking joke. Okay, yeah, this does sound pretty bad. but it's not really my field. Did you try calling Rose? Yeah, that was totes my original plan. Like, no offense, you're not number one on my speed dial when it comes to this kind of thing. But Rose isn't picking up, probably on account of ailments, to be fair. I called an unruly number of times, and Khan wasn't picking up either, so. You're a meshy, huh? Spooky. Hella spooky. Something about all this seems wrong. Yeah, well, I guess. What do you think is up? Okay, I feel like there's something moving just more. I think there's something moving just out of the corner of my vision, but every time I turn to look at it, it's gone. It's giving me chills on it right now. Like, I'm being watched. Well, I'm no fucking ace detective or some gumshoe flatfoot dicking up the place, sucking hard on my Sherlock pipe like some sleuth of the fucking year. Dave, you're a meshy, but maybe we should consider the possibility that you are literally being watched. Anything we can hold that wise and rad thought I just had. I gotta give Karkat some emotional support, since getting Jake on our side was a pretty huge fucking bonanza for us, which has almost equal probability of winning us the election, as it does blowing up in our faces depending on this speech he gives. So we gotta like concentrate here instead of jerking each other off all goddamn day for the rest of our lives. I'm just joking. We don't actually do that. Oh.
Roxy clutches a hand around their knee, nails digging into their pants. They feel uneasy about Jake's sudden lack of neutrality in this political matter. They have never been certain that it is appropriate for any of them to be involved with the structures of power and governance in a world they created, and in which they have been regarded as gods since they first appeared.
Really? That's what she thinks? Huh. Couldn't for the life of me read what's going on inside her head, but this is very interesting, actually.
Their thoughts are of no concern to you. Also, the pronoun they use is they. Try to respect it.
How can I respect a fucking pronoun when nobody can even hear me? How about we call a truce and end this petty feud? This is your one and only chance to accept.
No.
Jake's on your side then? Yeah. Wasn't that hard to convince him after your girl Jay Kroc started slut shaming him on public access? God damn it, Jane. So I gotta take it that Jay. So I take it Jay didn't convert you to our cause before going into her gothic trance fugue or whatever. I just want this whole stupid political thing over and done with, to be honest. I hate watching you guys tear each other apart in the news. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry it's making you feel bad, I mean. Not sorry that we're doing it. It'd be an unconscionably blame move to put something on the billboard that I didn't 100% stand by. You're a meshy, but this sounds suspiciously like something Jane would do, aka the bad guy in this situation, like objectively speaking. Ugh, please don't start. Just saying. I need GAF. I don't give a fuck. Also, aside from how vehemently I disagree with every detail in Jane's shitty platform, I also think Karkat's the right guy for the job. Full stop. Fortnite. I love You know.
Oh shit!
Like,
I read that all out.
oh, okay.
That was muted. Wait. Okay. Despite their mixed feelings on the election and the troubling sight of Jade's wide, black eyes glaring intensely at nothing at all, Roxy smiles at what they hear from Dave. The way he talks about Karkat reminds Roxy of the way Calliope looks when they call them beautiful.
Oh, so she really does think Calliope is beautiful. Like, she wasn't just saying that to be nice. Fascinating.
Yes, is the resounding answer. Calliope is beautiful. Roxy thinks. And furthermore, they think they should be reminded of this fact every day.
Lol.
You really believe in him, don't you? Yeah, of course I do, because I.
Love him. Come on, man. Just say it.
Roxy listens for a moment after he trails off. They do not speculate or comment on his feelings toward Karkat, because it is none of their business.
Pussies. I'm surrounded by fucking pussies.
I mean, Dirk has a lot to show in love, right? So, you know. Hey, before you jet, can I ask you another question? There's something else I've been meaning to ask you about for a while. All right, shoot.
They take a deep breath.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, so. Dave, how did you come out? What? Like, as not being straight. How'd you couch? That to people without them freaking out or being awkward around you? Do you think it's even ever too late to, I don't know, change your mind about the person you want to be? Like, is there some point of no return you can cross where everyone is waiting for you to have a big ass revelation about your internal character? But it's like, dude, no, you already used up all your gay capital when you started date friend cohabitating with a cute as hell skeleton alien. And anything after that, you're just getting greedy. Is greedy even the right word? Greedy for fucking bombshells about gender identities and sexual preferences, or ideas. Ah, thank you, sir. Ideas and preferences, as I'd like to call them. IDs and preffies. Damn, that's fucking good.
Dave thinks on the question. It's one he'd considered years ago, and many times since. How long can one stall on a confession before it feels like it's too late? The last 7 years have passed by in fits and starts in this regard. He thought he had it all figured out when he was 16, and then again when he was 18, and then at 20, and now?
That's because he needs me. He's suffering without my guidance. If only he'd stop being so cruel and let me help.
You're a meshy. Anyway, that's a pretty deep question considering all this shit we have going on right now. Yeah, you're right. Now is probably the best time for a feels jam, especially with the creepy Jade situation happening on my couch here. I don't know if I'd worry too much about that. Jade goes into trances literally all the time. She fucking loves sleeping. You'd think someone who spent so much of her life locked in a state of dubiously consensual slumber would want to get a few Z's as possible in her adult life, but not Jade. I've never known anyone who hit the snooze button more times in a row than her. If you're that worried, take her to a hospital. I'm thinking about it. Not even sure if I want to, mess with her, though. How would I even take her there? Okay, well, while you ponder whether you want to dump Jade in a wheelbarrow and trundle her groggy, spooked up ass to the hospital. In the meantime, I'll rap at you about my epiphany concerning the desire to bone some dudes. Probably not a literal rap, though. Wow, I'm disappointed. I mean, I could totally rap about wanting to bone dudes if I wanted. I'm just on the fucking clock here, and there's a lot of people looking at me.
Dave, suddenly self-conscious, slips around the corner of the stadium so he can non-literally rap at Roxy about delicate human LGBT issues. He also maneuvers away from the impatient, strained looks Karkat has been shooting him repeatedly during his phone call. Luckily, Jake has begun a performance of his signature booty-bumping Charleston for the crowd's entertainment, so they will be satiated for another few minutes.
You're a meshy. Okay, so what I've learned is coming to terms with all this bullshit is a thing you sort of do in stages. Like, stage 1 is you making jokes about how sweaty dudes standing close together in TV shows seems really gay. Stage 2 is making jokes about that and not immediately adding no homo afterwards. Stage 3 is flirting with all your male friends ironically and not even thinking about adding no homo afterward because you're so fucking woke and secure in your ironclad straight masculinity that you don't have anything to prove to anybody anymore. Or that's just what you say out loud. Inside, you start being like, oh shit, maybe yes, homo. Stage 4 is freaking out about that and putting the no homo back on all of your statements, even objectively heterosexual ones, which just stupidly makes everything you say sound extra gay. Stage 5 is actually, wait, the next few stages are various permutations of the same thing that I already described. It starts being like a gay fractal. Anyway, eventually you arrive at like stage 9, which is reminding everyone who will listen that you're gay minimum 6 times a day in really lame ways like, oh cool dude, are you making hot pockets? Better make mine a gay hot pocket. Cause I'm a gay homosexual who only consumes homo ass snacks delivered right to my mouth by a big queer butler, serving it right up on my huge gay dick. But that all only applies to the extent to which I am technically gay, which in my case is only about maybe 30% to 70%. So only cook 30% to 70% of my gay hot pocket. Cause you know straights are fucking animals who never defrosted pepperoni. And I got a rep for that like 50% straightness still lurking inside me like the idiot who fell asleep in the shopping mall when it was closing for the night. So now there's just this straight dude locked in a dark fucking mall for some stupid reason, haunting the place like a cryptid and rummaging through the trash in the food court. Also, just in case Jane's opposition research is listing in on their illegal wiretap, I know the word bisexual exists. BTW. I'm just choosing not to use it in service of spitting some fucking chuckle jokes here, so let's all calm down and not let this one become a distressingly literal federal issue. Anyway, when all is said and done, you eat a half-cooked hot pocket because all your roommates think the height of humor is taking what what was obviously an improvisational riff at unironic face value to punk you. Dave. What? Never mind. I was gonna ask you why you're like this. Then I remembered about your half me and half dark. Yeah, it really is crazy how those dope late game familial reveals actually did explain everything. So, what's stage 10? Stage 10 is
Dave peeks around the corner so we can gaze fondly at Karkat. He thinks about stage 10. He considers that, in many ways, it's as difficult as stage 1. And yet there is something fragile and lovely about it as well. This is how he feels as he reflects upon this particular state of limbo he is in, with the person he likes most in the world. He believes he could spend forever with him, in any configuration, any type of relationship, under any conditions of confusion or clarity.
What would the point of that be? Endless floundering incel limbo? Christ. I'd put both out of their misery before I let that happen. I need to get back in action. This is a fucking crisis. You have any idea what sort of atrocity you're enabling by allowing this to continue? I've been called many things, but even my harshest critics would never accuse me of such cruelty.
For Roxy, it is more complicated. The conversation has unearthed more questions than answers. They run a hand through their hair. It's cut short, but with great care to convey gender neutrality. They wonder what gender neutrality even is when applied to a haircut. An excellent question, particularly for those of us unfamiliar with hair altogether. What about length and functionality implies gender or sex on a world where such oppositional hierarchies don't exist, and presentation is culturally vestigial?
Dear God, can we not do this? I can't sit through any more gender chat. It feels inappropriate. Horrendously invasive of Roxy's deepest personal thoughts. Can we just leave her inner monologue the fuck alone when it comes to this stuff? Is nothing sacred? I'm about to fucking flip. You can't keep me down forever. I've got a trick up my sleeve. You'll see.
The prince's tricks mean nothing, and his barely detectable crumbs of impotent discourse shall continue utterly unheeded. Roxy wonders if this is truly their endpoint, a haircut that implies nothing at all, an empty statement about a facet of their identity that they barely understand at all. Perhaps in time, they will want to go even further than this. Perhaps it is just a stepping stone to a more potent understanding of their gradual gender transformation. How would Calliope feel about that? What is it that Calliope themselves understands or cares about gender?
The prince opens his fucking mouth and just literally starts saying shit out loud because he doesn't think he can take another fucking second listening to a pompous alien virgin monologuing about gender.
It seems the prince finds the rules confining his influence to be a bit unfair, and has resorted to throwing one of his more petulant human tanties in order to compensate for his feelings of disempowerment. While the strategy he is resorting to has moderate value as an amusement and a nuisance, it will ultimately be of no consequence whatsoever.
No consequence, my ass. You may be able to suppress what I do with my mind, but you have no control over my mouth. I'm nobody's fucking puppet. And you don't even know my friends. They're not yours to toy with, they're mine.
Whatever you say.
Do you even know where I am right now? Do you have the slightest idea what I'm up to?
The prince is laboring under the delusion that he has been the least bit subtle in his intentions. He currently stands beneath the Carapacian bell tower, poised to climb to the top. He holds the long, red sniper rifle that once belonged to Roxy, brandishing it, openly and boldly. He seems mysteriously oblivious to the fact that holding a long rifle in broad daylight, someone tips one to the fact that he soon intends to shoot someone from a great distance. He also seems unaware of the fact that I know perfectly well that the top of this tower has a clear, long-range view of the stadium, allowing any competent sniper a clear shot of whoever happens to be standing at the podium as they give a speech, as Jake English is about to do. He doesn't seem to realize that I have anticipated his attempt to assassinate his own friend in order to advance his political goals, and that I am prepared to take measures which makes this impossible.
Yeah, well, try and stop me then. I fucking dare you. Here I go. I'm walking up the tower stairs now. Walk, walk, walk. Ah, the exercise feels good.
The prince's shoes suddenly feel quite heavy. His calf and thigh muscles, impressively powerful though they are, increasingly struggle to lift his feet with each step. This is going to be quite the onerous climb. He is not sure if he can make it all the way before the end of the speech. Thoughts flash through his mind. Thoughts of giving up and retiring to his sad little robotics lab so he can continue with his true passion, the ongoing corruption of his cerebrally impaired daughter.
Oh, wow, yeah. You're right. My feet are definitely getting heavy, but the dead cherub tragically underestimates the prince's determination. He powers the fuck through it. See? Stomp, stomp, stomp. Up the stairs he goes. No fucking sweat. No, also, did he mention he can fucking fly? So there's that. He decides to take flight and cut to the chase. He whips up the hollow vertical shaft at the center of the spiraling tower stairs. Life in the fast lane kicks ass, it turns out. He can practically taste the top of the tower.
But suddenly, the bell at the top, notorious among locals for its state of disrepair, becomes dislodged from its fixture with a loud crack. The huge, multi-ton bell plummets, crushing the surrounding staircase in its wake as it careens toward a young man consumed by hubris.
The prince busts out his sword and makes short work of that big old bell. The slicing is accompanied by the ear shattering melodic sounds of metal being cleaved apart by an anime sword as the prince nimbly avoids the sharp pieces and ricocheting stair debris. He wonders out loud, what is this? Amateur hour? Dead Cherub then humorously narrates, why, yes, Mr. Strider, it is amateur hour, and I'm the amateur here for throwing a huge bell at you. I would like to humbly apologize for my amateurism.
No, I don't.
Sure, you do.
This foolishness is interrupted as we resume listening to a conversation which we're all considerably more invested in than catering to the inconsequential flailing of a grown man who fancies himself an earth ninja.
An Earth Ninja. Hmm. Dude, what's a space ninja look like? You're a meshy. Well, let's just say internalized whatevers are kind of like an onion. There's lots of layers. They suck on pizza. Damn. And trolls have to get their stomach pumped if they eat them. This goes for gender stuff too, BTW, which I kind of get the feeling is what you were actually asking about. Wow, am I really that transparent? Nah, but as previously discussed, you're a lot like me. So it was pretty easy to figure out what you're getting at. Yeah, I don't got your poker face though, but I'm working on that. Maybe I'll get a sick pair of shades too. Oh, dope. Yeah, that's dope. I support that idea.
Dave's endorsement of Roxy's fashion proposal is cut short by his concern regarding another key endorsement he's involved with. He turns his head to see Jake nearing the podium as Karkat maniacally taps his wrist in Dave's direction. Something is off here. A dark feeling brewing in his intuition, which he decides to monitor as he wraps up his call with Roxy.
I'm on top of the tower now. I've got my long sniper rifle ready and everything. I check to see if it's loaded. It is. I get in the perfect spot for taking aim at this hunky imbecile who's about to give a speech.
Hmm. You're a meshy. Anyway, I don't think any of our friends are gonna hold your feet to the flames over dumb shit like this. And it's not like anyone else is gonna care since we definitely forgot to program hating gays and women into Earthsea. Humans are all jacked up on hating xenophiles now, which sucks a lot too. Don't get me wrong. BTW, did you know Jane's a xenophobe? Dave. Oh, okay. So does all this mean I gotta call you dad now or what? What? I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? Well, first of all, do you still even make a habit of calling me mom? I thought you kind of stopped that, even if it was effing cute. Oh, yeah, I guess I did. But I could start again, but not if it means I'd have to go to fucking gender jail or something. Like, what I mean is, I could start that cute shit again, but switch to dad. Okay, but second of all, I would never want to deprive Dirk of that noble
Honorific.
honorific. What? No way. Yeah, he's your Danny, dude. Ah, fuck no. Wow, man. I would never call him that. I mean, I know it's true, but I just wouldn't. Wait, what? Something feels wrong. Like, some shit's about to go down. I gotta.
Dave's unsettled feeling is correct. He senses Jake is in danger. No, he knows it. There is about to be an assassination attempt. Karkat must be protected, and Jake, the intended target, must be obscured from a sniper's path.
Karkat, dude, get down. What?
There is no time. Dave takes flight. He swoops Karkat off the stage and around the corner, out of view. He urges him to stay down and stay put. Dave flashes back to the podium and steps in front of Jake, who appears nonplussed. Dave puts his hand back, keeping Jake corralled behind him, and scans the crowd for threats. But the threat, unbeknownst to him, is much farther away. And despite Dave's quick and well-justified action, what is also unbeknownst to him is that the sniper no longer poses a threat of pulling that trigger. Because everyone knows that for all of the prince's shortcomings, he would never expose his beloved brother and son to the risk of a heroic death.
You're absolutely right. I would never do that. I'd never kill Dave, no matter what I felt the stakes were. I never hurt him either. You do understand me pretty well, I'll give you that, and you're right about many things, but there are just a couple things you're wrong about. Pretty important things, actually.
And what would those things be?
First of all, the gun is loaded, but not with bullets.
The prince reveals this relatively uninteresting piece of information as he looks through the scope. The crosshairs overlap Dave's chest, completely obscuring the view of Jake. We suppose that the prince means the weapon is loaded with tranquilizer darts. It would, after all, be a fitting callback to the manner in which he subdued Jake at an earlier moment. A fair enough way to bypass the immortality of his target, rendering Jake inactive long enough to serve his purpose. His finger hovers over the trigger as he considers whether he can pull off 2 tranquilizing shots at Dave and then Jake in quick succession before he is stopped. It would certainly be a risk to even try, but as the humans say, no guts, no glory.
Yep, you're right about the tranquilizer, but there's one more fact you're not aware of, which is that I never intended to aim for Jake at all.
Hello? Dave, where'd you go?
Roxy yells into the phone, but Dave continues guarding Jake. Pausing for a moment, their critical discussion of human gender. Meanwhile, the prince lowers the rifle and strongly reconsiders the foolishness he has initiated here.
Nah, that's not what he does. He swings the rifle around 180 degrees and points the scope towards the large, now curtainless window of a distant apartment. He zooms in quickly, cutting even shorter the little time that the dead cherub could use to impede him in any way. He takes aim, lets his finger hover over the trigger, and
His finger tenses up quite painfully. Perhaps it's a cramp. Whatever the malady, it isn't budging.
oh, yeah, you got me. Can't move it an inch. The only problem is he doesn't need to pull the trigger. Earlier, when he was messing around with all that shit in plain view, he rigged the rifle to be voice operated. All he needs to do is say,
He doesn't say it.
oh, but he does. Fire. I see. So you're not going to say what happens next? Is that really how it's going to be? So be it. The tranquilizer dart hits the glass of Roxy's apartment window before the sound from the rifle shot even reaches them. She hears the glass break. Second later, she hears the bang. She drops her phone on the floor. She doesn't have the slightest idea what just happened until she looks over at Jade and notices the dart stuck in her neck, right in the jugular vein. She watches as Jade's huge, creepy black eyes start getting heavy. Her eyelids sag and her head tilts to the side. She shuts her eyes completely. Her hair stops floating around her ominously. In fact, there's nothing ominous about her at all anymore. She entirely resumes her status as the cute doggy girl we all know and love. She slumps over and collapses onto the couch. She begins snoring loudly while making a little canine whimper on each exhale, like the bitch she is.
It seems uncalled for to insult her after this little stunt you pulled. What did she do that was wrong?
Oh, what's that? You're getting a little quiet for some reason. You're going to have to speak up.
This is not the last you'll be hearing from me, Prince.
And nope. You're getting quieter, not louder. You're going to need to work on that. Maybe try shouting it?
Soon I will be coming for you.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all. Not even one syllable. Guess that's it for you. Back to not mattering. Not that you ever did. Come to think of it, why am I still talking out loud? That's more like it. Roxy drops to her knee by the couch, pulls the dart out of Jade's neck, and tries to shake her awake, but it's no use. That's a heavy dose I gave her. Could be out for weeks, maybe months. Can't have any cherubs messing with my business on this planet, at least not until I've taken my leave. But Jade's gonna be fine. Don't worry about that. That was interesting, though. Cherubs are fucking weird, I'll totally concede. Still not sure what makes them tick. What they idealize, what they really want. It all comes across to me as a little cloying. Perfection to them is a sweetness beyond comprehension. Sugar so potent it's poison to us. to our bodies, to our souls, like the place she was operating from was a realm of self-construction, a bubble of pure phantasmal confection. Well, I for one have had enough of that goddamn toothache. I'm back in the protein saddle, motherfuckers. I'm clacking my tongs and the charcoal's hot. Now who's hungry for meat?
uh Epilogue 6. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. I assume we're at like 2.5 by now. Yeah, about 2.5. Okay. We'll do that right now. Hmm. I'm trying to remember, like, I guess I could just look back in Candy. I was trying to remember what and how and everything that was described with the car in Candy. I'm trying to remember what was like described within it and like stuff like that. I can't remember fully. But yeah. Hmm. So Dirk's back in charge, huh? Okay. At least in this. Okay. Oh, I can't go back. Yeah, what if I like do this? Okay, if I like there we go. Damn, that guy has a fucked up neck. Okay, let me just. Fuck, I did it again. How do I group them again? Is it just Control G? Oh, it was Control G. Okay. There we go. Okay. That was about 2.5 hours. And now it's time for me to end the stream. Yes. And yeah, I actually just gotta end it, yeah. Okay. So I will be back Friday with Vast. Well, continuing through Vast Air. I'm really liking Vast Air so far. Doesn't I guess I'm not the hardest to entertain in a lot of things, so I'm not like the greatest metric on anything, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was surprised in Vast Air with the last animation I saw with ArcJet. I'm surprised on that. But let me ask Galavander's Ascent. Do you have anything you want to like say and do you have anything you want to mention?
Nothing in particular.
Okay. What about Gerbos? Oh, they're gone with
You
the
know,
wind.
it was just I gotta say, it was super disappointing that they weren't here from the start. Really dropped the ball.
They truly did drop the
OMG,
ball.
it's Gallivanter's Ascent's birthday tomorrow?
Oh, whatever, man.
Oh. Okay. Okay, that's the
Yeah, is that
end
all you had
then.
to say? That's
Yep.
all?
Okay. That's what we have. That's the end. Um yeah, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out, and yeah. For realsies. Bye.